Good day, everyone. This is Sonia Mendoza. Welcome again to Maaliwalas na Araw program. Our episode today is entitled The Future of Career Decisions, Unity Between School and the Industry. As early as 1992, I started attending dialogue between the academe and the industry. Back then, we were sharing our observations about our students, about our graduates, their expectations, and their recommendations. We made plans to interact more often, communicate, and coordinate so that we would be able to become effective partners for the growth of our students. As time goes by, more and more, searching for job is not easy for our graduates. There are so many challenges. If we consider what blog.educacion.ph would say, there are three struggles that the fresh graduates have to face in applying for STEM job. One is feeling not qualified for the job. Two, not ready for the job. And three, the lack of opportunities. Added to that is the phenomenon of globalization, the Asian Professional Mobility or the ASEAN 2015, and the space of the world of work is very limited because more and more graduates are coming to look for job. And so, we selected a speaker today, a human resource and organizational development expert who can enlighten us, who can give us the truth or what is really going on in the industry today as far as our fresh graduates are concerned. Now, I can tell you something more about our speaker. She is a seasoned human resource administrator or manager who became very popular, sought after speaker when it comes to human resource development. She is Celeste Quiazon, and her areas of expertise are the following: organizational development, strategic talent management, salary and benefit administration, research and data analysis, human resource planning and acquisition, job design and evaluation, human resource system development, and operations management. Her summary of professional experience are the following: 30 years in human resource management and organizational development, 8 years in operations, and 6 years in research and data analysis. What she will present today, we hope it will give you some more insights to strengthen our program so that we can be more prepared to let our graduates go after graduation and will feel more confident that they may be able to find job not long ago after graduation. So, may we call now Miss Celeste Quiazon, or Net as we fondly call her.
Good afternoon. I'm Net Quiazon. I am an HR practitioner and an OD practitioner. About 15 to 20 years ago, the talent war began. What is a talent war? Talent or employee is actually Very, very difficult, has been increasingly difficult to hire. And with the aging population, meaning population of people who are qualified to already retire, and that is about 50 years of age with 10 years of service. The war on talent has become more vicious. We not only had difficulty in looking for qualified applicants, but also we would end up fighting for qualified people. On top of the aging population, we were now experiencing multi-generational work environment where about five generations are all in the same work environment and has created quite a difficulty in terms of operations. There was also changing of tenure, where as before, the baby boomers would tend to stay for at least 10 to at most like 30 years. Now, the younger generation would tend to move around a lot. It is already a surprise if they could stay on for about 5 years straight in one company. CHED, or the Commission on Higher Education, posted on its website that in 2019, there was a total graduate of all disciplines of approximately 750,000. And of this, the 10 most populated discipline, three of these are in business, administration, engineering and technology, and information technology. Most courses that are needed by the industries. However, in the past 20 years, despite the fact that many schools or universities have focused on providing guidance to graduating students on career options, HR practitioners have noticed that there is a great disconnect between the applicant's expectations and industry's expectations. How did this come about? We noticed that whenever we ask applicants, especially the new graduates, what positions they are applying for, the answers would not be uncommon towards whatever is available and whatever job I will qualify in, which means that they don't have their own personal idea of what it is that they want. Our question is always why? Why is there a gap? One of the factors that we thought of would possibly be socioeconomic conditions. Um, Children of those people who are in the lower socioeconomic strata of the society would tend to enroll in courses that they think would alleviate their family from poverty, and these are maritime and nursing. Maritime because they know that the officers or those people who are in the vessels are actually earning in dollars. And the same with the nurses, because these nurses are actually aiming to go abroad. They are not thinking of staying here. And industry generally do not hire nurses, nor marine graduates. We hire those in business administration, engineering, and those people who are in computers. There, another factor is also educational sector's lack of knowledge of the trends in the industry that greatly affect the delivery of the curriculum. For instance, do they know what is the sunshine industry for the last 10 years? The sunshine industry is the business process outsourcing industry. However, strangely, the BPO industry had to grapple with the lack of qualification for those people who have to be in the BPO, and that is speaking in English or understanding in English, which is actually a basic skill when you graduate. You are supposed to graduate knowing how to speak in English and knowing how to write in English and knowing to how to understand in English. But the BPO industry had this really big problem of turning down so many people or so many applicants because there is just a dearth of applicants who know how to speak, how to process, and how to write in English. So, what did the BPO industry do? They had to provide training for these people because they did not know how to speak in English properly. Strange, because the 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 countries of Europe and even the US come to the Philippines because they thought that the Filipinos know how to speak in English, but we were actually speaking in more or less Baduy English, really. Also, the educational sector focus on the student's perspective instead of what the industry expects. For instance, students generally write the resumes with great emphasis on their academic achievements, the medals that they've had, what attainment or honors that they had, uh, and all of this in where what they know should be their marketing factors for themselves. Now, I will try and reconcile the career directions between the education and industry in the next few minutes. And this I are my observations in the past 40 years that I have been around. So I've seen already the changes in HR and the changes in talent acquisition over the past 30 to 40 years. The industry sector, many companies want to be top of mind of graduates. What is top of mind? Top of mind means they know they want to be hired in Shell. They know they want to be hired in PNG, in Unilever, in Magsaysay, in the big companies. So, big companies want graduates to think of them as their employers. That's the meaning of top of mind of graduates. The industry also has an urgent trend towards succession planning back to back with career pathing. Why succession planning? As I said earlier, the aging population have taken already retirement benefits, especially as young as 50 years old. And of course, because of this, in the in the company organization structure, there is a fast emptying of the top level, the middle managerial to the top level. So HR had to fast track succession planning. When you fast track succession planning, what happens is that you move up the people in the lower managerial and you move up the lower level of the organization structure, and this one becomes empty. That's why you have to take in people or new graduates to fill up the gap at the lower level. But the ones that you have to actually hire are people who are highly qualified to move up also fast through the organization structure, because remember that the baby boomer uh, age, the baby boomers have filled up the organization structure, and if you are letting them now take on the retirement benefits, a lot of this will be vacant. So there is a need to fast track also the hiring process for the lower level. Companies are consciously hiring because of EQ, emotional quotient, and social quotient, and have greatly downgraded the importance of intelligence or the IQ. Why did this trend happen? We realized that getting highly intelligent people or people with very high IQ It's actually posing greater problem for the industry. We want people who have very good social skills. We need people who have very good emotional skills because these are the ones that are needed when you become managers and executives. We need people who are good team players, people who know how to talk with customers, people how to talk with managers and executives. They don't have to be intelligent. They just have to have very good people skills. Because of the gap, industry has resorted to the following: automation. Automation would now encompass computerization, um, enterprise solution applications. It will encompass technology advancement. That is the meaning of automation. We are now in the fourth industrial revolution. The fourth industrial revolution means that it is very, very important for all of us to understand how technology moves. Artificial intelligence, for instance. And when you go up the organization ladder, and you are already somewhere in your 40s and your 50s, you really just have to catch up on the on what is there right now for us to use in terms of technology. We have also invested on training, but see, investment on training is not training of what is lacking in a person. It is training actually of what the person needs to understand in order to move up the organization ladder. Industry right now wants to hire the right person for the right job. And the right job at the bottom means that they already know certain basic things, especially technology. We will train, we will provide, and we will invest on training because we are investing on your career in order to move you up. That is the meaning of training. We are not training because you lack anything. We are going to train to give you more skills, more and higher competencies. Systems improvement. Companies are actually improving on their systems where the processes are being done for 30 minutes. We would like them done now for 15. And this is where we now have technology. Okay, a lot of companies are investing on artificial intelligence. Even research companies are already doing that. In a company that has research, and then the data that you accumulate, you write, and then what you have written will be reviewed. Where before, the three legs of the processes are being done manually, meaning the researcher will now research on data. Well, it's not from the newspaper because most of the news are now in the websites. So you get data and then you analyze the data and you write it out in a piece of report. That will be now done by artificial intelligence, such that the only thing that is left is the review of the report. That is the meaning of systems improvement. So if it took a report 1 hour to do, now they can just do it in 30 minutes. That is systems improvement. One thing that is very, very important for HR function now is talent acquisition. And that talent is the employee. In HR, we have to be very alert on the kind of people that we hire because these are the people that we want to stay in the entry level position for not more than 1 year. These people will have to move up. These are the people that we can move up. Whenever I hire somebody, I see that person for the next 5 years to 10 years. But the critical one is the 5 years. That person should be capable of staying in the organization for 5 years, given that the organization or the company is capable or has already installed in place the employee engagement programs needed to let that person stay. Now, let me let me illustrate some things that have already been noticed by HR. 10 years ago, SAP, which is the enterprise solution application, was actually introduced in the industry. And many companies bought SAP enterprise solutions and had their people who are in the company trained to know what SAP means. However, we noticed that 5 years ago, UP graduates have already introduced SAP in their own curriculum. And that is the reason why whenever we hire people where we need SAP, where we have SAP in our application, they take first priority because there is now a university that offers SAP so that your entry level position can actually have an SAP skilled person already in place. We don't have to train that person anymore for SAP. Okay, the educational sector. This is what the industry is doing. So what can the educational sector do? It should have, it should teach graduating students how to market themselves to the industry. When you market yourself, does it mean? There are already sites where you should introduce yourself. JobStreet, Caliber. But it depends a lot on where you want to be. If you want to be in in companies that have worked so hard to be top of mind of graduates, then you know that you should also be in LinkedIn. You should know where, which sites, websites, you should put yourself in to give an impression that you know what is going on in that environment that you are entering into. Graduating students should know how to write resumes in grammatically sound English. And please, we in HR do not have the patience to go through resumes that are like more than 1 page. Also, resumes should summarize the competencies of the person applying. Graduating students should have a clear idea where they want to be 5 years from now. It, it's a big letdown actually. If they cannot even answer the question of, so what position do you think you would like to enter into? If they cannot even answer that, they don't know where they want to be in 5 years. Surely they don't know, but they have to have a clear idea of where they want to be 5 years from now. Because when we hire you, we will have a very clear idea where you will be in 5 years. Schools should put importance to humanity subjects because these develop character. What are humanity subjects? Of course, you have, in college, I had composition. I still had composition. In college, we had debates. In college, we were taught how to answer essays, not only true and false, uh, and check marks and enumerations, because we were taught how to think. Now, humanities subjects are very important because it gives students a very wide perspective: history, English language, literature. It gives them an idea of how people think generally. When they go out, it will give them more confidence. They don't know only maritime subjects. They can also discuss things with another person. It encourages them to read books. It encourages their mind to think beyond what is being taught to them in the subject matter of their own course. Schools should introduce management subjects in courses where the likelihood of jobs are in corporate settings. For instance, psychology, AB psychology. Um, I always tell my staff, if the if the vacancy in my own department is the HR generalist, it is so specific for me. Please do not give me a psychology graduate. I want a management graduate who knows how to read, how to write, and how to speak very well in English. Why is that? Because I noticed that psychology graduates are focused on recruitment, on testing, and have very little idea of what's going on in an organization. But HR is already moving towards partnership with the corporate. We are now HR partners with operations, with marketing, with sales, with accounting, with corporate strategy, with corporate planning. If you are only focused on, and your dream is to just recruit or to just give tests, we are going to have really huge problems. We will still have to teach you the meaning of a corporation. We will have to still tell you what is the meaning of marketing, what is the meaning of accounting. You'll be lost, totally lost. It is highly advisable for schools to have college professors currently in the field of expertise teaching the subject matter. If you, in other words, they are now working. If you are on the field of expertise, so if you are teaching HR or OD, then it has to be the person who is presently in HR and presently in OD. The person teaching, for instance, um, maritime, should be presently an officer in the maritime industry. A person teaching accounting should be presently doing accounting work, because even in accounting, the things have also changed. Applications have also changed. Um, Artificial intelligence is already coming into the picture. I have already told my staff, the ones who are doing timekeeping, who are still in payroll, only one person can actually do payroll in my last employer. One person who is now on the managerial level, but he's alone. Because all he has to do is press press buttons. And not only that, he's press buttons because everything, all data are downloaded, uploaded, given to the banks, and just distributed. That's it. So he can actually do the job by himself, just one person. But what is the career path there? There is no career path. because soon even his job can be taken over by an AI. So you have to have the people knowledgeable of what is currently happening so that they can actually advise students on what to do, and they can give them an idea of what is it that is happening so that when they get out they will not be shocked that I did not learn this, why is this going on. um, there is actually more to say in this particular issue. But the only thing that is very, very important for me, really, is that HR does not have such a difficult time looking for graduates. What is important to us now are graduates because we are filling up the lower level. So it's talent acquisition that should be in the mindset of the academe, of the educational sector. Thank you very, very much for listening to what I have to say. And I hope that I have given you um, a perspective of how the industry is today so that the educational sector can catch up with us and would make life easier actually for companies looking for new talents. Thank you very much.
From the start to finish, our speaker shared with us the difficulties, challenges, unmet expectations in hiring qualified applicants in many of her group of companies. How this happened? Perhaps there are many factors. It was good that the companies are able to find ways to remedy the situation by applying artificial intelligence. But it's still best to do our part. There are three things that I would like to mention. First, other than what the skills needed to be developed, still all of us cannot pinpoint our fingers by who should be responsible in molding and forming our students. Two, I have interviewed also 5 more HR practitioners, 3 from the industry and 2 from the government. While they recognize the need to develop all these skills, they also presented some more skills needed so that our graduates or our students who are looking for work may have the chance, greater opportunity to land into a job. They said, we have to help our students, our graduating students, to develop number one, integrity. Not necessarily stealing, but they should be honest enough to write the report or present their ideas but not necessarily fake news. 2 is the initiative that our graduates need not wait for the superiors to tell them what to do. 3, adaptability. And 4, they have to develop other values that would help them to get the trust of their employers. So, there are things that we need to consider also. There are players in the learning process. One is home. Parents are given the privilege, the opportunities to help their children grow so that it would be better for them to have self-confidence as they leave school. Then, the school need to continue reinforcing the values those the students have learned from their parents. It is fair enough to say that our educators do have the commitment, the dedication, and living out their vocation to truly shape up good students. And third, which is very important, are the students too. When they are grown enough, they are given the privilege to accept the freedom to learn more. If they do not follow their parents or the school, then it is their responsibility to get what they deserve. And fourth, the industry. They are expected also to provide the continuing education for the students, for the graduates, for their development and growth processes. So with this, we would like to say thank you to our speaker, to our viewers for the desire to learn more so that we can continue shepherding our students, our graduates, who may be able to become happy, to increase their self-worth, to know that their families can be proud of them and their schools. As they continue to contribute by giving their best at their work with their employees, they will be able to contribute also for the economic growth and development of our country. So we invite you again to be with us for the next episode. We have invited a very good speaker also from Singapore, Dr. Timothy Shi, who would also contribute for the growth and development of the career of our students. So with this, I would like to say, maaliwalas na araw sa inyong lahat. God bless us all. Bye!